Okay, we are going to call this regular meeting of the Martin County School Board to order. If you would all please rise for the opening prayer by Reverend Sean Mayo of the Higher Purpose Pentecostal Church, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here. We find throughout Scripture that there is two key points for effectiveness of those that are to do a work. One is they are ready and able, and their hearts are to it. The second item is that the Lord is with them. You all are here, ready to do the work. We want to bless you with prayer to help God be with you as you perform this work. Let's pray. Lord God, we thank you for your grace and for your mercy, for your love and all that you've done and will do. We ask you, Lord God, to move on this board and all that are here. Lead them and direct them in every way. Help us move forward and continue to improve and increase our school board and make Martin County even greater than we could ever imagine. We thank you for all that you've done. We thank you for all that you're going to do. We ask for your hand to be with us in every way. In Jesus' name, amen.
certification together. I'm excited to recognize them this afternoon for their hard work, their perseverance, and their leadership. To begin, we're going to first recognize those who wanted to be here, but are actually at conferences doing even more learning. So we'll start with them. Please help me congratulate Ed Geiger, Amy Morrell, Melora Norman, Stacy Reese, and Kelly Siders. And then next, we have our other 5 here who are going to receive their certificate. So when I call your name, please come up, and then we'll have you also take a photo. So please help me congratulate Miss Dana Carroll. Do you want them
Yeah, they can come up in the
Yep,
middle. We'll
okay,
take a picture.
perfect. Up next, we have Miss Trisha Elliott. Jennifer Parker. Miss Lauren Rabner. And Tiffany Ruff. They are exceptional. Congratulations.
All right, next up, we have Maurice Bonner.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Superintendent Maine, Maurice Bonner, Director of Human Resources. We have a few recognitions tonight for those employees who have given our district many years of service. Do we have a representative from South Fork High School? I think Mr. Geiger and Mr. Aiken are at conferences. We do have one recognition, Tara Parsons, and we'd just like to recognize her for her 30 years of service to the Martin County School District.
Tara, would you like to say anything? I mean, we always give retirees the opportunity to say a few words. You don't have to, but if you would like to.
Not a big public speaker, but thank you very much, and it's been a great 30 years, and I know lots of faces in this room, and I'm super excited for the next chapter of my life.
Congratulations. You're way too young to retire. And bring your family up and let's get a picture.
Bring your family up.
Okay. Good. Okay.
let you go first. Are we ready? This is with Tara's phone. 1, 2, 3. Got it. All right, here we go. 1, 2. Perfect. Congratulations.
Next, I'd like to ask Principal Tuthill to come up and recognize Valerie Young Baldwin from Felix A. Williams.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, board members, and Superintendent Maine. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today to honor Mrs. Valerie Baldwin. So I only had the opportunity to work with Mrs. Baldwin for 1 year, but she has been an educator in Martin County for 36 years at Jensen Beach Elementary as well as Bowie. So Mrs. Baldwin has taught 3rd grade, 4th grade, and 5th grades before becoming the media specialist at Felix A. Williams Elementary School. Over the years, she has participated in the Education Foundation Robotics Program, academic games, and several book bowls. I think 2 years, her team won the book bowls. Mrs. Baldwin has shared her love of reading with the children, and a lot of the students refer to her as the book wizard, because she has all the books. So Mrs. Baldwin, thank you for your years of service. Congratulations on your retirement. Bowie will not be the same without you. Thank you.
Does exist.
I exist. I'm not only in
And
the
you too. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. I really thought they were figments of my imagination and only email people. I thought I worked 34 years, and then I filled out the paperwork and they said 36, so I lost 2 years and I don't know where. If anyone finds them, I would like them back. And with all that's going on in the library world, felt like it was time, but I will not stop continuing to motivate children, read to children. Hopefully I've made a difference and brought some readers into the world and some dreamers, because without the dreamers, where would we go? Where would we be? I can't believe it's 36 years. I really can't. It seems like just yesterday. Now, how do I stop working? If anybody knows, I would like that answer, because I've done like 3 jobs forever, and now it's like, I don't need all these pens. I don't need any dry ease markers. This is what my life has come down to, dry ease markers, and what books do you save, and which ones do you give away? And luckily, I found someone to take 4 giant tubs of books, because our library is really full at Felix, and whoever takes over for me, I apologize. And I might have hoarded a few, but they were good, and I couldn't help it. Thank you very much, and I want to thank the educators I've worked with over my 36 years. I have to mention Doris Burke, my first principal, who hired me, even though I was wacky, and had faith in me and didn't mind my wackiness, and Mitzi Chansey, and Gail Olson, and Deb Riley, and Ms. Tuthill. I've left Felix in very good hands, and I hope they just keep reading. An eye on you guys, by the way. If I need to come back. Okay, thank you.
Oh, you can go down, go ahead.
Here, follow me in a straight and narrow. Yes, oh, I am your favorite chef too, so please vote for me. After Thursday too. It's just the first round. Favorite chef. Please get my young side. I'm gonna haunt you.
You don't want that haunting.
All right, next I'd like to call up, I just drew a blank. Never happens to me in HR, but it happened today. Troy LaBarbera, sorry. Come up to recognize, last but not least, Mr. Al Fabrizio. Looking right at you.
You know, my wife says I'm not unforgettable, but
Wow, they're laughing very loud.
it's hard being their supervisor. Good evening, school board powers, board members, and Superintendent Maine. My name is Troy LaBarbera, Executive Director of Principals and Professional Standards. It is my pleasure to recognize the kindest and most professional colleague that I have ever had the pleasure of working with over my many years as an educator. Al Fabrizio has been a pillar of strength, compassion, and consistency for the students and community of Martin County over the past 35 years. Overall, he has a total of 43 years of education as he started his career in New York. Very dedicated man. Over the years, he has served students in many capacities. In one that's dear to my heart, special education, coordinator of special education, dean of students, assistant principal of curriculum, and principal of Martin County High School for the past 8 years. He has been a model example of what a true educator should be. He's truly about kids. When I first started in Martin County, he was one of my first colleagues who invited me into his school to share with me the amazing things we do in Martin County, not just at his school, but what we do in Martin County. He welcomed me with open arms and has been nothing but supportive and collaborative. I will never forget how you made me feel part of this amazing community I have the privilege of serving next to you. He has always made me feel like family. Being the newbie, it's kind of hard. His compassion and enthusiasm for the field of education is second to none. Mr. Fabrizio is a true professional. I will never forget the wisdom that he has brought to this field, and I believe many others in this room can say the same. With the above being stated, I want to wish him an amazing retirement filled with health, happiness, and time. Enjoy those grandchildren, my friend. Enjoy them. That's what's important. You will be missed. Congratulations on your retirement, and don't forget that all that you have accomplished and done for the students, faculty, and staff that you have served over your amazing career in both New York and Florida. Congratulations, my friend. Now for the gifts. So what I learned about Al is that Al absolutely loves black coffee. And he's an Italian, so he's like a paisan, you know, loving, endearing term. So I got him some Italian roast. Very important. It's good, it's good. The other thing, for being such one of the sweetest people that I know, and I know he loves these, he can sit on the couch and watch the Yankees with his honey wheat twist. That's for you. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Thank you. Before anything, I'm just really glad Troy said all that stuff with my wife being here. Because with me being around the house so much, I really need to put as much as I can in the bank. That type of like, I'm okay type of bank. Anyway. Madam Chair, members of the board, Mr. Superintendent, from day one, I have truly been, and I still am now, humbled and honored, and it's been such an incredible privilege to be the principal of Martin County High School. Up until the last days on campus, I would still walk across campus and say, wow, I'm the principal of Martin County High School, and I truly, truly mean that. You know, after my faith in my family, there's nothing I love more than Martin County High School, even a little bit more than the Yankees, so, you know? Really, to me, today, the most important thing really is about my family. And even though my kids have been to my retirement celebration circuit, they couldn't be here tonight, but first and foremost, I wanted to thank my wife, Cheryl, because of the incredible sacrifice that she made as, well, one, the most amazing educator in the family, and then some, and the district, but just to allow me to do what I was able to do. And it's not really very easy to be the wife of any principal, and especially a high school principal, and also my kids, AJ and Corey, and grandkids, because, you know, being a high school principal, it's really a lifestyle, and it's not a job, it's truly a lifestyle. I'm so incredibly appreciative of all my administrative teams, past and present, and everything that they did and how they tolerated me. Just the incredible, phenomenal teachers I got to work with over the years, every place that I was in the district, and certainly at Martin County High School, and I put the staff of Martin County High School up against any staff. My secretaries, from Vonda Dye, if you go way, way back, to Nicole Rodriguez and everybody in between, because that's a really hard job, too. And just like all the administrators, many who are here district-wide at school sites that I got to work side by side with. You know, there's some people I just have to make sure I acknowledge specifically. Dr. Feziphone Ginger, who was my mentor and gave me my real first opportunity and everything she taught me along the way. Virginia Skinner, who was my curriculum AP, God bless her for doing that for 8 years. And just everything that, you know, we were able to accomplish, I couldn't imagine doing it without her. Some of the folks that were with me from day one, either as teacher leaders and then eventually assistant principals, Kristen Carbone and Jamie Hurd, and just everything that they meant to me and did for me. Somebody who I'm really, really is glad that is here, Joanne Hunt. Martin County High School's had 2 principals in the last 28 years. She did the first 16 of those. And Joanne gave me, besides bringing Cheryl and I on board at South Fork, she gave me my first teacher leadership position at South Fork High School, and then 12 years ago handed the keys off to me. And what a phenomenal, phenomenal individual and educator. And just, you know, one real old throwback, Paul Krasula, assistant principal at Martin County High School, who taught me so much, as far as I know, about keeping kids safe in management, and just the, you know, the support of Dr. Millay and Mrs. Gaylord. Of course, Mr. Main and Mr. LaBarbera and Dr. Miller and Dr. White, who I always appreciated so much for providing me what we needed at Martin County High School, and being great proponents of Martin County High School, but also allowing us the autonomy we needed to do what we needed to do for our kids. The school board members, you know, throughout the years, special shout out to Lee Roberts, who's always been a big Martin County High School fans. So anyway, 12 years in Martin County High School, you know, in that time period we experienced fires, floods, hurricanes, and an eclipse. Sounds pretty biblical to me. Just saying. But, you know, simple philosophy from day one, if it's good for kids, we do it and get every kid across their own individual finish line. And we're just really proud of what we accomplished together. I mean, it's never, ever really enough, but we're still proud of that. First, doing everything possible, making our kids feel safe and like they belonged, and creating an environment conducive to learning. Our kids and our teachers helping Martin County School District being recognized as a Cambridge Small District Cambridge International Small District School of the Year. You know, the A's we earned along the way, but, you know, certainly most importantly, helping celebrate those probably close to about 6,000 kids cross their finish line during that time period, and that's the most important thing. So, what I'll remember most fondly and miss the most are all the relationships with the faculty and staff, those daily interactions with our incredible kids, and getting to know our families. I feel blessed to have been positively impacted and had my life changed forever by so many, and for that, I will forever be grateful. So, thank you.
Okay, next up, we have Valerie Gaynor with the Environmental Studies Center.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Mr. Main, distinguished board members. I'm so excited to be here. I'm Valerie Gaynor from the Environmental Studies Center, and I hurried right after Carline from Environmental Studies Center camp. I have to tell you, I'm so proud to work there, especially when I go through Carline and see all these happy parents, all these happy kids. It truly is. Just so you know, I have to let everybody know this. We were compared this year to Taylor Swift concert tickets. That is how hard it is to get an Environmental Studies Center camp. So we were so excited about that. But that is not why we are here today. But I do want you guys to know that our camp is going really good and we're super excited. The kids are having so much fun, and it truly is such a gem to have in Martin County. But one of the other reasons I do want to thank the council, not only for what we're doing today, but also the Impact 100 grant that we received. We have already, and my departments over there, the facilities and maintenance, have come together and really supported us. We already have the air conditioning started and putting it in, and we've already started on all of the projects for the Impact 100. Our wet lab, we got $100,000 to revitalize the wet lab, and that was because of the Environmental Studies Center Council. So we're very grateful to them. We're very grateful to my team at the Martin County School District, and then for their dedication and their determination for our students. They're really doing this because they want our students to have an amazing place to come at least once a year. So That being said, we're grateful for this check presentation. It's $50,000 and it supports one salary of a teacher at the Environmental Study Center. I'd like to introduce Colton Radabaugh, but I want to take a moment first so that you kind of know a little bit about Colton. I taught Colton at Jensen Beach High School. He grew up through the ranks of Martin County Schools. He also volunteered with me at the Environmental Studies Center as an earth saver, and it's so exciting to me to be able to watch how he's been brought up through the Martin County School District and now is giving back. And he is the president of the Environmental Studies Center Council. And they are here today to present us with a nice hefty check, and we'll take it. So, cool. And he has to pull that up.
I'll duck a little bit. My name is Colton Radabaugh. I've been through the ranks of going through Martin County school systems, and favorite part was going to the Environmental Studies Center. Every year, as a counselor there, now giving back as much as I can. It's been a joy. We've been doing as much as we can. Now that we're getting, with the grant and everything getting done to the center, it's going to be a whole different place here soon, and we're very excited about that. But thank you for everything you guys do as well to help us out, and hope to keep it going. Thank you.
You and my husband. That's a theme tonight. It is, yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Oh, and then I'll go get it over here. He's like, it's over here. Jeez.
All right. All right, next up is our district update.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the school board, and Superintendent Maine. Jennifer DeShazo, Director of Public Information and Community Relations. Happy to present this evening's district update. 6 Martin County School Districts students are now prepared with life and job skills that they will need to begin new careers after they graduated from the Project Search program on May 23rd. Project Search is a 1-year high school transition program for students with disabilities who are 18 to 21 and have deferred or are deferring receipt of their standard diploma and meet eligibility for vocational rehabilitation's supported employment program. This 1-year program prepares these students for competitive employment in the community by immersing them in an all-day work setting. This year, our interns were fortunate to be hosted by Cleveland Clinic, where they worked on their employability skills. Let's take a look at the video.
I would like to begin this event by applauding for our interns and saying congratulations.
These exceptional Martin County School District students did something amazing.
So many folks don't have the opportunity to get into a job. After high school, so many folks end up sitting home and waiting for something to happen. We've made it happen. You all have made it happen.
They postponed receiving a traditional high school diploma in order to attend Project Search, where they intern at different jobs and learn employability skills.
I have learned to work at an appropriate rate and listen to my mentors and my job coaches.
It took a village to help these students achieve their dreams.
In Martin County, we are very fortunate. We all know that, but we are fortunate to have returned to Cleveland Clinic Hospital for Project Search this year. and to continue to have the support of 3 amazing agencies, the ARC of Treasure Coast, Helping People Succeed, and Vocational Rehabilitation.
Hard work and the determination to succeed through Project Search opened up a door of endless possibilities for these students. All 6 showed tremendous growth and completed the program. One student even received a special scholarship to continue his education.
When I got it, when I won the scholarship, it was like very surprising. My mom was pretty shocked, and I was shocked even more that they were going to do it one semester, paying for my seats, my one semester.
The donation came from Erica Garwood, whose son also attended Project Search and thrived.
You know, we get more than we could possibly give. And to see that this young man who wants to go back to school to be a welder, what an awesome career, and to be able to help him have that opportunity is a blessing to us.
On top of graduating, all 6 found careers.
And I hope any of you have time off, please come visit the Yale Museum.
Congratulations to these outstanding interns.
So as Dylan mentioned, he's employed at the Elliott Museum. We have another student who now works at Bayer's Furniture and one at Outback Steakhouse. So if you frequent any of those businesses, stop in and say hello to our graduates. Port Salerno Elementary School is a vibrant learning community where faculty and staff are passionate about empowering students to become self-advocates and well-rounded learners. The school is the district's first advancement via individual determination, or AVID, elementary school, and techniques such as WICR, which stands for Writing, Inquiry, Collaboration, Organization, and Reading, are incorporated into the learning plans of all students each day. Teachers prioritize engagement and bringing learning to life. In each classroom, that manifests as collaboration and partner work taking place amongst students where they aren't afraid to ask questions and dig deeper into their shared understanding of lessons. Martin Schools TV recently took a behind-the-scenes look at what makes Port Salerno Elementary School so unique.
Hi, my name is Lauren Gifford, proud principal right here at Port Salerno Elementary School, the first AVID elementary school here in the Martin County School District. I wanted to take an opportunity to invite you into our beautiful campus so you can see what it's like to be part of the Stingray family. Port Salerno Elementary School is located in Stewart, and many of our families and students come from the historic Golden Gate area. What makes our school so special and unique is that our families and students come from a variety of cultures and backgrounds. We love to be able to celebrate the uniqueness of each student and families by holding and hosting different events such as our Hispanic Heritage Nights.
We have students from all walks of life, and I love how we feel like a family here, and I know that every student I see every day is going to have a hug for me and a big smile, and no matter what happens during the school day, I'm going to see them again the next day with a hug and a smile.
I love working here, and when I think about PSC, I think about our amazing families. They are so grateful for everything that we have here at school, the opportunities that their children have here. And I think about just the history of the school, and there are so many parents of our families who attended PSC and now their children attend here. So there's just so much history here, and it's just rich with community and love.
At Port Salerno Elementary School, we are driven by our school's vision statement, which says, creating an empowered community where all students are educated for social and academic success. We do this by following our school's mission statement. Consistency, communication, and collaboration. Our teachers work hard to plan engaging activities for our students to learn. What this looks like in our classroom is a lot of collaboration and partner work or group work with our students, where they're asking each other questions and digging deeper in their understanding of the content. AVID stands for Advancement via Individual Determination. And here at Port Salerno, we have created a school-wide system where we are empowering our students to advocate for their education and engage in school-wide structures that help them become college and career or trade school ready. The walls in our building tell a story. and it showcases the work that our students are doing and what they're learning in each of the grade levels. As an avid elementary school, it's really important for our students to take pride in their work and what they've accomplished throughout the school year. What a great way to showcase all of the great things happening right here within the classrooms.
At the end of the day, I hope that every student has learned something, whether it be academic or something about their character and how to be a better citizen. And I hope that when my 5th graders leave me at the end of the year, that they will be kind the next year and that they leave me with a growth mindset and they know that things are hard, but they can do hard things in life and academics as well.
Let's give a round of applause to Port Salerno Elementary School. Last month, 1,366 members of the class of 2023 crossed the first of many monumental finish lines they will experience in their lives. More than 80% of these new alumni plan to attend a college, university, or join the military in the fall. Seniors earned more than 1,521 industry certifications, which will allow them to begin their future studies with advanced knowledge in their field or directly enter the workforce. Approximately 40 seniors earn their 2-year college degrees at the same time that they earn their high school diplomas. Pretty impressive, right? As inspirational as these statistics are, it's the words, thoughts, and ideas of our graduates that won't soon be forgotten. As we prepare to share this compilation of our class of 2023 commencement exercises, please take a moment to consider that each of us, as members of the Martin County community, are partners in education. Through our gifts of advocacy, engagement, time, and talents, we all possess the power to shape our students' futures for the better. The words we are about to hear from our graduates and principals will undoubtedly remind us why our collective use of this power matters more than ever before.
This day marks a significant milestone for the graduates.
1,375 days ago, we were introduced to the finish line story and the famous tie.
Over the last 4 years on your route to your finish line, you made a choice not only to finish, but to lead. And you led in the classroom, on the athletic fields, as well in the areas of visual and performing arts.
Because this class is the most bright, brilliant, driven, and competitive class I have ever seen.
We grew up learning from our teachers. We can't forget our teachers who over the years helped us grow up by igniting something within us to achieve our best.
Seniors, take a look around and think about the people who are in the crowd this moment sharing it with you. Your family members, teachers, school staff, friends, and loved ones are not simply here to celebrate this hour with you. They're the ones who are helping you celebrate the entire path that has led to this moment.
That tonight's finish line is just the beginning of a whole new race. Class of 2023, you have proven that you're prepared for your new race.
But looking back on this time, I wouldn't change a thing. Because I love who I have become and where I'm going, the Marines.
Pursue as many options as you can. As you get older, those options give you choices, and with choices, you have freedom to choose where you'll work, who you'll work with.
You are kind, you have self-confidence, and a heart for giving to others. You have the key to your future in your hands. Remember to use it. Try as many doors as you need to until you find the one that suits you best.
It is to be expected that we will encounter some rejection and criticism along the way, ultimately making us question our worth or abilities. In these moments, I hope you remember that you are capable of achieving your greatest potential if you believe in yourself and know that we are stronger together.
As you strive to achieve long-term goals, remember to appreciate the connections you formed, the things you love, and the world around you. Live a life that you are proud of. Do things that make you happy. Redefine what success looks like in your life.
I could not be more proud of this group. This generation is different, amazingly different, which is exactly what our world needs. Go forward and be uniquely you.
Dr. Millay, as principal of Jensen Beach High School.
As the principal of South Fork High School, I certify that these seniors have met the requirements set forth by the Martin County School District and the state of Florida.
Mr. Superintendent, it is my honor to present to you the class of 2023 so they can be recognized as graduates of Martin County High School.
To the remarkable Jensen Beach High School class of 2023.
The Southwark High School class of 2023 for the recognition of receiving their high school diplomas.
On behalf of the entire Martin County School District, the members of the Martin County School Board, I express my sincere congratulations to you. Congratulations, class of 2023.
Congratulations to the class of 2023. We made it!
Congratulations to our class of 2023. Until next time, you can find us wherever you scroll.
Thank you. All right, next up is our superintendent update.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Pleased to present to you the superintendent's update for the month of June. We started out this summer with over 2,600 students in our summer school programs across multiple sites that you see listed there on the screen. I'm proud to say that over the first few weeks, we added an additional 179 students for a grand total of 2,828 students that we are servicing in our summer programs. By far the most highest number of students that we have served. We are very proud of that. Our schools are working extremely hard to provide a level of service to help those students with the summer slide and to continue their growth so that they're ready for August when the school year begins again. So you'll see those numbers there, and we're very proud of the work and the students and the families that have put those students into our summer school programs. Adventure Camp is well underway at Bessie Creek, and Bessie Creek has partnered with J.D. Parker Elementary School, and they're participating in a wonderful opportunity where students are working across 4 themes. Those themes are integrated and aligned to key themes within our benchmark reading series, so they have the opportunity to have project-based experiential learning. This is the second year in a row that Stacy Schmidt and her team at Bessie have done this and partnered with J.D. Parker. They are doing a phenomenal job, and those students are having a fantastic time. If you have not had an opportunity to get out there and see those students at Adventure Camp, I encourage you to do that because it'll put a smile on your face for sure, and they are experiencing opportunities and things with the students at J.D. Parker that they wouldn't have otherwise been able to experience. So we encourage you to see that. Camp Teach was held for our teachers last week. This highly anticipated annual event allows our teachers to explore different innovative ways to incorporate technology into their classrooms, giving them fresh ideas and perspectives on techniques and things that they can use next school year when the year begins. You'll see there that there were a total of 560 sessions attended across 5 days, 670 hours total of learning, and over 115 of our staff being able to participate in that. So it's a great thing that many of our teachers look forward to. They do it on their own time, and we appreciate this additional opportunity for them. And last, but certainly not least, a little bit of our legislative update. I share this for the public because it was historic, the number of bills passed education within the education sector. You see there from March 7th to May 5th, 1,873 bills were filed. 1,346 of those bills had the potential to affect public education, local educators, students, and/or parents. And of those, 356 bills passed both chambers for a total of 58 education-related bills that were passed. And so our staff has created a bill tracker that is aligned by department. We are meeting regularly each Monday as a leadership team to make sure that we are in alignment with all of those bills and new legislation. And each of our departments is working hard to go through those bills and make sure that we are completely up to date with what is taking place. So a lot of hard work done in Tallahassee this year. I want to thank the board for your advocacy of a couple of those items that were were proven to make their way through and signed by the governor, including the graduation piece, which was huge. And so thank you for your advocacy and your efforts on that. Martin County led the way, and we're very proud of that with our team. And so at this time, this concludes the superintendent's update for the month of June.
Thank you very much. Okay, that takes us right, let's see, 7 minutes, right into board member information share, and this is related, the K-12 bills that passed. Ms. Roberts, did you have anything you wanted to say other than, we will have a full briefing of all of the bills, well, not all of them, but an overview of a lot of them, July 11th at our workshop with our Tallahassee advocacy firm, and so they will be here at the July 11th workshop. All right, we're a few minutes ahead. It's 4:54, but we'll go ahead and get started with public comment. Citizen input is vital to the improvement of our district. Most times your remarks may be listened to without comment from board members or superintendent. This does not mean they are heard with any less intensity or concern. Where appropriate, the superintendent and staff will investigate your comments and report back to you and the board with an answer. We thank you for taking the time and having the concern to make our district better. Your presentation to the board should not exceed 3 minutes. First up is Heather Rogers, followed by Richard Lawton.
Good evening, Superintendent Maine and school board members. We are in a system with a large group of people, mainly educators and paraprofessionals, who are at the bottom in this district. They do the lion's share of the work each and every day. However, their work does not give them the benefits they deserve: a livable wage, wonderful health insurance, or a school board that supports and values them. We are long overdue to sit down to discuss the redistribution of wealth in keeping teachers in our county. Recently, we had a board member actively speaking in a public forum against supporting the teachers' union, campaigning for the teachers to not sign up for their e-dues. Next, the board member encouraged students to leave our public schools, advocating for them to attend religious schools. This seems to be the exact opposite of what a paid, elected school board member should be doing. Today, I am requesting that the board members focus on hiring and retaining teachers, working with local elected officials to oppose bills that take away from public education. When our governor is actively working to remove AP classes from our high schools, the very same ones that he took, and we are met with radio silence from this board. Is your silence the answer to this? However, the last few months, you have proudly taken photo after photo with high-achieving students. It is hypocrisy at its best. Instead of creating a board policy that share our children's personal information, pictures, addresses, clubs, classes, GPAs, etc., why don't we work on creating a learning environment that is inclusive, rigorous, and exciting to learn in? This board has allowed a plethora of books to be removed in our schools. To this day, I do not understand how books have been banned when we have procedures in place for each child to check out a book. The board is worried about sexy belly buttons and collarbones, but are fine with sharing our kids' home address. At this point, I do not understand why we are still paying you. Start advocating for teachers and students. Wouldn't it be more effective to put our students and teachers first? You don't fight bills that take away from public schools' budgets. You support the governor in trying to dismantle the teachers' union. So I ask the public to question, why do we need a school board any longer? In small districts throughout the country, school boards are volunteer boards of citizens, where the superintendent formulates policy for board approval. Since everything is a rubber stamp of Tallahassee, board salaries can be applied to our underpaid teachers and support staff. Thank you for your time.
Richard Lawton, followed by Bill Smithson.
Richard Lawton, thank you for the opportunity to speak, and thank you for your service to our community. I heard on Channel 12 News that the group Moms for Liberty is being declared a hate group. The news got it wrong. Moms for Liberty is not a hate group. Moms for Liberty is a well-coordinated, well-funded organization with a very specific agenda. Moms for Liberty receives funding from wealthy sources such as the Koch brothers, the Heritage Fund, Turning Point USA, and the Governor's Office. After only 2 short years, Moms for Liberty has opened up chapters across the country. Dismissing them as a hate group would be a mistake. Moms for Liberty's strategy is to spread hate and bigotry in an effort to divide the country and convince teachers and school boards that the world is against them. Moms for Liberty works with legislators to defund schools and libraries, to ban books, to bring religion into schools, and to incite hate and bigotry. They act as vigilantes to attack and harass teachers and school board members. They make lists of teachers and board members who oppose them and seek to get them fired or removed from office. Make no mistake, Moms for Liberty objective is to end public schools and replace them with charter schools under which they will teach their science, their history, and their religion. They are here now in your county. Moms for Liberty stands for anything but liberty. Under the guise of concern for children, they are going throughout the country to spread fear and hate. It is well past time to make clear who Moms for Liberty are and stand up to them. Secrecy and obfuscation are their biggest weapon. Stand up to them and they will melt away under the light of day. Thank you.
Thank you. Bill, please hold your applause. Bill Smithson, followed by Cindy Summers.
Okay, Superintendent Maine, Madam Chair, members of the board. On April 18th and again on May 17th, I wrote an email to the school board members expressing my concern on the books banned in our school libraries and requested we follow Port St. Lucy's lead to section our media centers by full access and restricted access. The onus then is on the parents to determine what books their child can access. I believe this is a win-win situation for both the Moms for Liberty parents and the majority of parents who are against books being removed from our media centers and want their children to have access to a wide variety of books that address issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I say that very specifically because if you look at the books that are banned, unfortunately, they target the LGBTQ community, personal experiences of being black or brown in a white America. And I just think that it's going a little bit too far. But anyway, on 5/18, I received a response from Ms. Roberts, and I want to thank you personally for that email. It was lengthy, it was articulate, it addressed my concerns. Although I'd be remiss if I didn't, I would have to say that there are a couple of points that I am really, really disheartened about. But again, I do want to thank you for that time. I was well aware of the laws and the instructions to the media center specialist, and but I now have a much better understanding on how change is facilitated within the board. Anyway, I would be remiss if I didn't express my extreme disappointment in the board's unwillingness to revisit the existing process for removal of books from our media centers. It's quite obvious that the Moms for Liberty movement is targeting the LGBT community in particular, as well as a number of other topics relating to race, gender identity, women's rights, etc., based on outdated and antiquated religious creed and dogma. This board is doing a great injustice by serving only one segment of your constituents and thumbing your nose at the vast majority of parents, grandparents, and other concerned community members dedicated to ensuring our students have a knowledge to think critically in today's world. I also want to encourage all teachers. I wear a pen with a rainbow that says, "You are safe with me." This is my all right, like people wear a cross or a mezuzah or whatever, establishing their religion and what they stand for. This stands for equality, inclusion, diversity for every living human being with no marginalization. Everyone is entitled to a good life and a happy life, regardless of who they are, how they feel, who they love, etc.
Thank you. Cindy Summers, followed by Karen Frank.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me okay through my mask?
Yes.
Yeah, I have to wear this mask on the advice of my doctor, so that's why I wear it, but it makes it hard to understand sometimes. Anyway, thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. On May 31st, one of the school board members was on an interview on radio station WCNO. The interview lasted about an hour, but after one of the school board members' comments, the school board member followed with words to the effect of, "And I think the other school board members would agree." I believe it is an ethics violation for one school board member to speak on behalf of all. I can't recall the comments, but whether other school board members agree or disagree with the comment, it doesn't matter because the school board member spoke on behalf of all of you and did this on a radio station that has the potential to reach 7.5 million people.
Thank you. Karen Frank, followed by Dana Fickelson. Sorry.
Well, hello, friends. So my name's Karen Frank, and I live in Stewart. When I was a teenage lesbian, I was sure that the only person who had feelings like mine. I lived in a rural area in the Midwest and didn't know anyone like me. I was desperately lonely and miserable. I felt like a person from another planet. Gradually, I learned that there were people like me called lesbians. The only info I got was through underground sources and seemed to say that I was destined to suffer and possibly kill myself. When I told my high school guidance counselor how I felt, he said that I could not be a lesbian. He proved that by reading to me about lesbian sexuality in women's prisons, that being his idea of what lesbian sexuality was. Things have gotten much better, but here in Florida and Martin County, there's an effort to turn back the clock to the bad old days, keeping books about the queer community away from young people. Lack of information about ordinary sexual expression didn't stop me from being a lesbian. It just left me lonely, isolated, self-destructive, and lost. I was depressed and suicidal for many years. And I want to dispel this lie about groomers. About 95% of sexually abused children are abused by someone they already know and trust. For children under age 6, about 50% of their sexual abusers are their parents. I don't want young people to struggle the way I did. I know we need books in our libraries from elementary school age on about human sexuality and sexual orientation. What really protects our children is clear, accurate info, not ignorance. I'm asking each of you as human beings to search your heart about the wisdom of supporting book removal from our school libraries. That doesn't protect children. It just creates conditions of possible harm. Always, always, facts are preferable. All the children need our support, our care, our compassion, and our wider love. Thank you.
Thank you. Dana Fickelson, followed by Regina Wood.
Thank you, Board and Chairman, Superintendent. My name is Dana Fickeisen. I'm from Stewart. I couldn't say anything better than what Karen just said. It's really the story that we all share as older lesbians in this community. The Florida legislature and the governor have given you a real bucket of requirements and restrictions, reducing your local control. It's not what you need, especially with gay and race issues. My concern today, as a lesbian, is the restrictions placed on teachers and librarians talking with kids about gay issues and removing books and media. We all have to be brave and find ways to reach those in power and those with no power to kids. The cost of secrecy about being gay is much higher suicide rates and in the rise of violence against gays. I don't know if you know, but the Pulse nightclub was a man who was attracted to other men who came in and shot up 41 guys. And when I grew up in the 50s and 60s, it was all secrets and fear in school about our community. Girls were only directed to be teachers or nurses. I picked nursing, even though my passions were more like biologist or park ranger. But that was a secret, too. We didn't know as girls what was available to us. The other big secret, well, you know, sexuality. Back in the 50s and 60s, it wasn't spoken of. At 24, when I came out, I could see clearly how I'd been gay all that time. But it had been a secret to me, and a very lonely time, a confusing time. My parents were surprised, but their fear that they expressed, it wasn't about who I was or my sexuality. Their fear was for my safety, and that's because of secrecy. You know, when you down the information for kids and you tamp it down, you just provide a climate of violence and meanness. We know that by how kids bully each other, and you've had to work on that one, so thank you. So be bold, find ways to reach the kids. I have lived openly, and I will continue to do so. I know that you don't want to shut down ideas, really, and learning. I know you're here to teach. Consider what I said when you review your books and media that have received objections. You don't have to remove them, and continue to exercise your right to free speech as educators. Picture yourselves a ways back in time, and maybe today, where a representative of the Lesbian Resource Center is brought into your high school to talk about sexuality for the human sexuality class. Picture something like that. That's a reality from the 1970s. It really did happen. Thank you so much. I was that person.
Regina Wood, followed by Beth Smith.
Hi, thank you for letting me talk. My name is Regina Wood. I'm a longtime resident here in Martin County. We had several children that went through K through 12 in our family, and here in Martin County, at the school board in Martin County. And up until this year, I've always been very proud of the Martin County School District. And for their certain things, I really am still proud of them. But I'm also very concerned about, and I've been angry, and I realized today that I'm also very sad about some of the changes that are coming down from the state, the book removals, gay, and just as an aside, I did an AIDS support group back in mid-85, and parents, and also one for parents, and it was here in Martin County. We did have AIDS here in Martin County. And what some of the parents said was they knew at a very young age that their children were different, like 3 and 4 years old. So I just want to throw that out because I think a lot of people are ignorant about, gay people. So I just want to throw that out. But what I'm here to talk about today is a concerned citizen about the removal of books from the schools. I know there's been a lot of talk in the last few school board meetings, but I would like to encourage the school district to develop a procedure for people who want to object to the books that are being removed. That needs to be part of, we have this whole thing for when people want them removed, but if people feel that they have been removed wrong, there needs to be a procedure to do that. And also books that I believe they're going to be rejected, they're going to be reviewed and rejected, so that people, if books are rejected, that people can, there's a procedure where they can object to that. I believe that all the parents and interested, not just people who shout the loudest or the most politically correct connected. I think all people, parents and interested stakeholders' voices should be considered. I recently Googled Martin County and book banning to see how many websites discussed it around the country. I stopped counting at 50. This is our school district, okay, our wonderful school district. Our good reputation demands that we handle this issue fairly and intelligently, not out of fear or politics, but doing what's the best educational value to our students and their future. And one way we can do is to please consider establishing this review procedure. Thank you.
Thank you. Beth Smith, followed by Jennifer Pippin.
Greetings. First of all, I'd like to honor and acknowledge all, from 4 to 5 o'clock, we just watched and heard about excellent educators, students, and teachers in the district. And I think that's just a small sampling of what we have here in Martin County. No people that go into education do it for money. They do it because of the love of learning and wanting to do something for kids. And I think the very vast majority of teachers have that in mind, and the administrators. Ms. Pritchard, I listened to the interview you did on WCNO on the 31st.
Please address your comments to the entire board.
Okay, to the board. One of the board members did an interview with WCNO. As a board member, she supported choice for kids to be moved to private schools and homeschooled. And a lot of them are not certified. And why would we want to dumb down kids' education by allowing them to go to non-certified institutions? You reported that students supported parents finding alternatives to public school. You supported materials pushed by the Florida Citizens Alliance, and they're not vetted through the school district, and you're going on a real slippery slope when that gets in place. Phonics instruction was also a topic. Phonics instruction is a great tool, but it's not a choice for every child in school. Reading scores. One of the ways you increase reading scores is making sure that a lot of reading takes place. So that's one thing that needs to be done. And we talked about the test scores. And when we had a year of COVID and then the new BEST standards, you can't expect that those scores are going to be high that first couple of years. It takes time to build that up again. You talked about competition by including choice. This is my suggestion. And I've worked in several school districts. I had A-level schools in 2 of them, one here in Florida and one in Las Vegas, both Title I schools. Competition should be by school. Offer the opportunity for parents, if they don't like the school that they're in, that they can transfer to another school in the district if that school has room. That makes a better choice because you're keeping the kids in the school district and you're keeping the money in the school district. You need to assist schools to be competitive by doing things to help improve their instruction and make an environment free of fear. And when you talk to teachers, they're afraid. They should not be afraid to teach. You need strong, effective school leaders that are knowledgeable. We need to have fully staffed schools. And we've had 50 openings this school year, and you're probably going to have more next. Again, freedom from fear. And what I did, I looked up stewardship. The definition of stewardship is the job of supervising or taking care of something such as an organization. And as school board members, I think you are responsible stewards for our school district to make sure we're going in the right direction. And I feel that WCNO interview did not show good stewardship. And I would hope that you would consider what you're doing and making it more appropriate and less fearful in the district. Thank you.
Thank you. Jennifer Pippin, followed by Stephen Harrington.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Pippin, and I'm a proud mom of Moms for Liberty. And I grew up in this district. I was the second graduating class of Felix Williams Elementary School. I attended Stewart Middle School, and I graduated 20 years ago last month from Martin County High School. And I am proud to say that I have 2 children in the public school system. So a lot of what you heard tonight about Moms for Liberty being anti-public school, I went through public school, my parents went through public school, my children are going through public school, and that is absolutely not the case. We do support school choice. Having the choice to be able to go to private school, public school, homeschool is a wonderful thing, and that's a beautiful thing about being an American, is having choices to have the best for your children. I also served on the Department of Education curriculum and library book training. I was one of 4 parents in the state to donate my time, not at the taxpayer's expense, to put the training together for the media center specialists across the state for the new trainings for the books. And again, a lot of misinformation this evening. There were a lot of bills that were passed in 2020, House Bill 1467, House Bill 1557, House Bill 7, and currently there is 18 laws that were implemented that will affect this school district, a lot for colleges and such too, but that won't affect your K-12 schools. And one of the House Bills 1069 says that if you read these books in a public setting and you are shut down by a school district or in a public setting, that these books will be permanently removed from a school district. So that is line 315 in House Bill 1069. Very important. That's going to help the school district. Again, more misinformation that was said. Moms for Liberty and organizations like Florida Citizens Alliance, Freedom Works, and a lot of these organizations, we are not banning books. We are following the laws and statutes that provide children good reading material free of, graphic rape, incest, pedophilia, bestiality. Things that we couldn't read in a public school board meeting should not be appropriate for children, and that's what's embedded in those laws and the Department of Education training that came to your media center specialists. So again, I want to thank the board for having a policy in place that is getting these materials out of the hands of students, because again, if we can't read it in a public room full of adults, then why should minor children have access to those materials? And there's going to be a lot of people that disagree with this. You can absolutely get these materials in the public library free of charge, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, your local bookstores, but to have it in K-12 public schools, again, we're talking about graphic rape, incest, pedophilia, it has to be age appropriate. We have not challenged any books due to it just primarily being LGBTQ material. Thank you.
Thank you. Stephen Harrington, followed by Carol Quackenbose.
Good afternoon. My name is Steve Harrington. I am the local coordinator for Academic Year in America. I am coming to you today regarding a couple of issues that I'm unclear about with the board. My husband and I had the opportunity to host a student from Germany last year. When it came time to enroll this student in school, we were told by every high school in Martin County that Martin County only permits 1 foreign exchange student to be enrolled. And we fortunately were able to put this student into a private school. I'm appealing to the board today to ask you to revisit your policy regarding foreign exchange students. This isn't just something that is going to benefit the exchange student themselves, it's something that's going to benefit our students as well in being accepted by foreign countries that they may want to visit and get an education from. Academic Year in America vets all of their students through the Department of State. It's a 1-year program for 15 to 17-year-old students. It has more than 50 countries that participate in it. Each student is required to speak fluent English and goes through standardized testing. Their grades and testing scores go to the school so that the school can properly vet them themselves before accepting the student to make sure that they're going to fit into the school as well. The schools that participate are invited to apply for a $1,000 grant that they can use for themselves in hosting, or excuse me, in providing education for their students, either here or abroad as well. Academic Year in America monitors each student's activity and their quarterly grades as well. And each student is required to volunteer, so they're part of the community. It's something that is required by the program. As the local coordinator, I would also be involved with the schools to make sure that they are following through and the students are providing the information and participation that's required by the school. So I would ask that the board may take consideration in hosting one student from Academic Year in America per school. It's a high school program. And, you know, I hope that we can do something to help educate students from around the world, as well as open the door for our very own students to be able to have this same type of education. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Before you leave tonight, will you just confirm your phone number and, just because it's a little, just to make sure we have the right number, and the superintendent will get back in touch with you. Thank you. Carol?
Good afternoon. My name is Carol Quackenboss, and I live in Stewart. I want to talk tonight about the message that removing certain books from the school library sends to our kids. Let me start by saying that I do not believe that this is the intended message, but intended or not, these are the messages that are being communicated. First, when books with gay characters or about gay people's lives are removed, that sends a message to gay kids as well as to their classmates that people like you should not be represented in books that are on our school library shelves. There's something wrong with you. We do not want to integrate you into our society. You don't belong. When books reflecting aspects of Black people's experiences are removed from the school library, that sends a message to Black kids and their classmates that these experiences are not a part of the larger fabric of American culture and history and are not worth learning about. Just as damaging is the message being sent to the majority of kids in Martin County who are straight and white. That message is that if other kids are different from you, it's okay to treat them differently. You don't have to treat them as well as you would someone who's in the majority like you are. I think about these messages in the context of kids bullying other kids. And it's not just gay or trans kids who are being bullied. It can be any classmate who is perceived as being different in any way. Bullying seems to have reached epidemic proportions in our country. We've all read the heartbreaking stories of kids who have committed suicide after being targeted simply because they diverged from the norm in some way. So I believe that the message being sent by removing books from the school library, whether intended or not, is the exact opposite of the message we should be sending to our children. Thank you.
Okay, that concludes public comment. I'm going to go back just for a second to the information-only reports. Did anyone have any questions about any of the reports from any board questions? Okay. All right, we're going to move on to our action items on the agenda. The first one is 18.01. And I'll just, in compliance with Florida statute regarding travel expenses of school board members, any travel outside the district that exceeds $500 requires prior approval by the district school board, and travel outside the state must include an itemized list detailing all anticipated travel expenses, including but not limited to the anticipated costs of all means of travel, lodging, and subsistence. Is there anyone here from the public who would like to speak on this item specifically? Okay, seeing none. Do I have a motion to approve item 18.01?
Motion to approve. Oh, second.
Okay, so I have a motion by Mr. DiTerlizzi, a second by Ms. Russell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, next up, 18.02, K-12 Uniform Assessment Calendar for 23-24. Do I have a motion?
I move approval of 1802 with some minor adjustments on the number 5, which is page 11, which I talked to, that would clarify what those minutes look like for high school students.
And what was that adjustment?
So if you look at number 5, when it talks about the progress monitoring 1 and 2, the beginning of the year and the mid-year, the way that it reads right now is grades 5 and 8, science, algebra 1, geometry, biology, civics, and U.S. history, grade 11. But then when you look to the next page where it talks about what you have in grade 8, you have district assessments of 180 minutes. In grade 9, it's 345, and then grade 10 and 11, it's 90 minutes. And the way that they come up with those numbers, so to make it simple, let's look to the grade 10 one, or the grade 11 one. The grade 11 is the history one, which is 45 minutes at the beginning of the year and 45 minutes at the mid-year, which totals up to the 90 minutes, which that part makes sense. That 90-minute piece makes sense. The grade civics is a grade 8 class, so when you look at grade 8, where it says 180 minutes, it's 45 minutes and 45 minutes, which is 90 minutes for science, and then another 90 minutes for civics. Then if you look at the one for grade 9, which is 345, 165 minutes of the 345 is the PSAT piece, but then the rest of it, the 180 minutes, is taking 2 pieces, which could be algebra and biology, and then the grade 10 one is 90 minutes, which is taking into account geometry. So when you read that, you can't read this part of the page before it, Diane. You can't read this piece here in number 5 and make it align with what is printed in number 6 for the grade level district assessments. So by adding that additional detail in here, it will show the parents at which level, if these tests are actually, the district tests are actually going to them. So for instance, if you were taking algebra, you would know that you had a progress monitor in the beginning of the year and the end of, and the mid-year for 90 minutes, et cetera, with an asterisk on both of those that say that some of those, the math ones, follow the class. It doesn't necessarily follow the grade. Does that make sense?
So do I have a motion to approve item 18.02 with those changes?
I did, thank you.
Thank you.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Roberts, a second by Ms. Russell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 18.03, renewal of the school leaders' errors and omissions policy. Any questions on the board?
Move approval, Madam Chair.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. DeTerlizzi, a second by Ms. Pritchett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 18.04, renewal of legal services agreements for professional liability. Any questions? Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve 1804.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Pritchett, a second by Ms. Russell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 18.05, requisitions over $100,000.
So I believe at some point, my question regarding this item had to do with the technology pieces, which I believe you're going to get us more information back on that at some point. So I move approval.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Roberts, a second by Ms. Russell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, 18.06 is the approval to renew for fresh delivered pizza. This is a good one. This is fun.
Motion to approve. Pizza.
That's a lot of pizza. All right.
Motion to approve 18.06.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Russell, a second by Ms. Pritchett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, 18.07 is approval to renew the Martin County School District Student Driving Instructional Agreement. Are there any questions from the board? Okay, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Pritchett, a second by Ms. Russell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 18.08 is request of approval for an amendment number 1 to RFQ for financial and performance audits. Are there any questions about that for staff?
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Roberts, a second by Mr. DiTerlizzi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right, item 18.09 is renewal of for the purchase and installation of interactive flat panels. Are there any questions?
So this is another item that I discussed with the superintendent that has to do with ET and and we'll get more information coming back about that, but I move approval at this time.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Roberts, a second by Ms. Russell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 18.10 is the School Health Services contract with the State of Florida Department of Health.
Move approval, Madam Chairman, of the Health Services Contract, State of Florida Department of Health.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. DiTerlizzi, a second by Ms. Pritchett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 18.11 is the renewal, well, it's not really a renewal, it's a new contract for the provider agreement for the school readiness with the Early Learning Coalition for the extended day program. And I will recuse myself due to my employment.
So in that contract, in the first, before we get to the exhibits, there's a bunch of boxes that look like they needed checking that were not checked. For example, on page 6, where it talks about the coalition has determined that the provider is required to participate in a quality improvement plan, which would either say yes or no. So can we, I'll move approval of this, but can we go ahead and get it back for information with the boxes? That's not the only box, but there's several other boxes in here that need to be checked.
If I'm not mistaken, though, a quality improvement plan could happen throughout the year. So if, they might not be on a quality improvement plan when they start the year, but if during the year they have a class assessment and they fall to below a certain level, they could then be on a quality improvement plan, but I will definitely look into any boxes that are not checked.
Yeah, there's some other ones like on page 4, et cetera, that I think all the boxes that give you a yes or a no at least need something in them, but I'll move approval, thank you.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Roberts, a second by Ms. Pritchett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0 with me recusing myself.
And we'll get that back with the, just filed back in
Just
the
like
information.
for information,
Yeah.
I'll just have the superintendent send it
That's
out to
fine.
everyone. Well, you won't see, it's signed electronically, so it's not, you'll just get a PDF of it. We can send out a PDF.
Thank you.
Item 18.12 is renewal of the school resource program contract with the Martin County Sheriff's Office.
Move approval, Madam Chairman.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. DiTerlizzi, a second by Ms. Pritchett. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 18.13 is the program for school within a school. Are there any questions?
Motion to approve 1813.
I have a second.
Second.
So I have a motion by Ms. Pritchett, a second by Ms. Russell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And I just want to say thank you. This is a brand-new program, and I know that this was a priority of the board, and thank you, Dr. Miller, for leading this. I think it really will cut down, hopefully will cut down on the number of students that are suspended from school, because what we know, there's lots of data that goes along with children who are suspended and what happens to them later in their academic career. They're less likely to graduate. So this is going to be a program which will be sort of like an in-school consequence for behavior, and it will have the developmental kind of guidance that will be taking place during those, depending on the offense. So I'm really excited about this. So thank you all very much to you, Dr. Miller, and your staff for getting this accomplished in a very short amount of time. Okay, number 18.14, the instructional continuity plan.
So that requires a 6-month review, so we'll be seeing it again every 6 months, is that correct? Okay, thanks.
Motion to approve 18.14.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Pritchett, a second by Mr. DiTerlizzi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, 18.15. I believe this really needs to come back to a workshop. We had a lot of discussion, and then we never reached any real final decisions on the language that we were going to put into the code of conduct. So I'd like this to come back to our next workshop. Probably I'll look at our July workshop. Perfect. Thank you.
Would you like a motion to postpone it? Or to move it to the workshop?
Well, we just have to, we would move it to, we would postpone it and take a vote at our July meeting, because we'll have it on our workshop we need to kind of have consensus on what the language is gonna look like at our July workshop, and then we'll have a final vote at our July meeting. So do I have a motion to postpone it to the?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. DiTerlizzi, a second by Ms. Pritchett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, item 18.16 is the removal of an FPL vault and installation of a transformer at Stewart Middle School. This is related to the construction project that's happening there.
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Roberts, a second by Mr. DiTerlizzi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 18.17, the Jensen Beach Elementary School Community Playground Repair Project.
Move approval, Madam Chairman.
Second.
Okay, thank you. And when I had reviewed this item with Superintendent Main, just being sure that we're in close coordination with the group that really spearheaded the PTA groups and the Jensen Beach community that spearheaded this playground that we're.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. So I had a motion by Mr. DiTerlizzi and a second by Ms. Roberts. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 18.18, this was the superintendent's contract. When we did it, it was based on 365 days, and it should actually be 248 days. He's a full-time 248-day employee, so it kind of messed up we did pay him correctly, but I wanted it to come back to the board so that it was really an issue when we were prorating
Right.
the month. So, but he was paid correctly, and this is just a kind of I think more of a Scribner's error that we needed to correct.
Motion to accept the correction, 18.18.
Second.
Okay, I had a motion by Ms. Pritchett, a second by Mr. DiTerlizzi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. MOU with AFSCME for extended day managers. This is something we discussed in executive session.
Move approval, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. DiTerlizzi, a second by Ms. Pritchett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, 18.20 was the addendum to the personnel recommendations. Are there any questions?
Motion to approve 18.20.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Pritchett, a second by Ms. Russell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And, Mr. George, I overlooked, when we approved the consent agenda, item 6.01, which is, a provider agreement for VPK completer program. Is that Tracy, do you know, is that the one with the Early Learning Coalition? So I probably need to go back and recuse myself on that, so just to be careful. And I know the school district has a normal program, so I just want to be, so how do we go
Madam Chair,
about
would you like
that?
a motion to reconsider that item? And then you can go ahead and recuse yourself
Okay.
after we
Motion.
vote on that, so.
So you're going to make a motion to reconsider?
Second.
Okay.
What item number was that, 6.01?
6.01.
6.01, yes.
So I have a motion by Mr. DiTerlizzi to reconsider item 6.01 and a second by Ms. Pritchett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, now
Chair.
we will
4 to
vote
0.
on,
Chair.
yes,
So it carried 4-0 with you
4-0
abstaining?
with me abstaining.
To reconsider it?
Not, do I have to
So-
abstain from the reconsideration?
No.
Okay,
5-0.
perfect. 5-0.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the provider agreement for VPK completer program 6.01.
Okay.
And I know you-
Second.
yeah.
And, okay, I have a motion and a second, and I will be recusing myself from voting on item 6.01 due to my employment with the Early Learning Coalition. So I have a motion by Mr. DiTerlizzi, a second by Ms. Russell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you all very much. I apologize for that.
Madam Chair?
Mhm.
Just want the record to reflect the motion carried 4-0 with an extension, you abstaining?
Yes. Got that? Thank you. All right. Open to the board. Anything, any comments, Ms. Pritchett?
None.
Awesome.
Madam Chair, I just would like to inform you all that I have a time scheduled, where is Mr. Frangella? With Mr. Frangella to bring some folks from SPAM. They want to see the back building at the school board headquarters. They want to take a look at it and see if it might fit their needs if we decide to make that trip. So Mr. Frangella said that he'd be willing to take us over there. It's just, it's probably between 2 and 5 people maximum, so we'll be able to go there. Hopefully have it scheduled for next week, and then I can report back anything they might have said about it.
Good. Thank you very much. I appreciate you doing that because I know that was something that we kind of started working on. And it was really important to the board to support that. So thank you for leading that.
Thank you.
Ms. Russell, did you have anything?
Anything tonight?
Ms. Roberts?
I'm good.
All right, thank you all. I don't have anything. It's summertime. We had a great end of the school year. And we're looking forward to successful summer school and I hope everyone has a great rest of the summer. We'll see each other quite a bit over the next few weeks with budget and workshops and regularly scheduled meetings. So no vacations. All right, thank you very much. This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you. You all have a good week.
You too.